The Last of Us is out on HBO, and yes, everyone who has seen it claims that it's actually the best video game adaptation. I beg to differ. I have 3 other properties that have actually, I think they have done a good job, and I think they are slightly above The Last of Us. And I'll explain. I've seen The Last of Us episode 1, and actually it works very well. They were able to amplify and improve on the source material. There's some small changes that I've made that really improve the source material. They just improve the whole dynamic and the experience of the video game. Actually, if you watch the show, you just want to go back to the video game. I agree it's good, but I have 3 properties. One of them is very controversial. 3 properties that I think did a better job. Number 1, Need for Speed 2014. Yes, I hear some of you screaming, no! This movie, if you played the run, then you understand why I deeply respect Need for Speed 2014. It's one of those movies that I've rewatched more than any other movies. But actually more than all the other live action movies, because there's just something about it. It's so rewatchable, it's so entertaining. That final race, that final chase scene feels like something from Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, the 2010 version. And the first act, the second act feels like Need for Speed The Run. And they do a fantastic job when it comes to amplifying the source material and respecting the source material. It feels like a Need for Speed game. The movie feels like a game, but again, they try to improve on the story. It's still as playful. It's not as serious as a game. It's not as serious as these other movies. It still reminds you that it's a video game property, but it's a movie. It's one of my favorite movies out there because it's extremely rewatchable. There's a particular scene with the P1 and a Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. That particular one of my favorite. The soundtrack, the realism of, actually, fun fact about the film, they did a lot of practical stunts. That's why it has this realistic feel, and they pay tribute to the source material, which is Need for Speed, especially The Run. Number 2, Castlevania, the Netflix animated show. Perhaps one of my favorite villain of all times is Camilla. That scene in the room whereby she's attacked by Isaac's monsters, and then she cannot escape. So the room is just flooded with blood, and then Isaac is walking up, and then the stairs, it's just slowly turning red. I think that for me was an iconic scene. Isaac, if there is a well-written character in any animated show, for me, it's Isaac. I think he's well fleshed out. He's tragic. It's kind of tragic. I would want to pity him, but then he's somehow dark. He's one of those characters that you want to like, but you can't hate. You want to hate, but you cannot hate. You want to like, but you cannot like. He's just so dynamic and so deep that every time he was on screen, especially season 3 and season 2, I was just like, and those philosophical conversations that he would have with some of the monsters, fantastic. Camilla's drive, for me, Camilla is just outright evil. It's not about being good, trying to be nice or anything. No, she's just outright evil. She's badass. She knows it, and it's just put out on the screen. And I've played Castlevania, and I think they amplified the source material. Again, I keep using that word, amplify, but they actually do justice to the source material. They just improve on it and make it more entertaining. If they were able to make a live action, I would rather they just copy paste what is on the animation and try to bring it out. The monsters are incredible, man. If that knife Dracula, but the fact, the only thing that disappointed me about season 3 in Castlevania, we did not get a lot of Dracula, because it was setting up. They took too long to set him up, and they did not give him enough. I expected them to give him like 4 full episodes at the end, because it began with him, ended with him in season 1. Then season 3, I expected them to go all out, maybe introduce him by the 3rd episode, bring him back by the 3rd episode, and just elevate the drama. The first season, father and son fight scene, fantastic. So yeah, Castlevania is number 2. Number three, we have Arcane again, revolutionary animation style and some of the most epic fight scenes that I've ever seen. I think let's forget about the video game adaptation part. In terms of just animation, it's up there. In terms of entertainment value, it's just up there. In terms of fight scenes in animation, it's just up there. I expected it to be a good story because everyone was making noise of just how good Arcane was. I was one of the latecomers. I did not expect the fight scenes to be as intense emotionally as they were, because they were not just fight scenes. There was an emotional core to them. That's how you do a fight scene, whereby there are consequences, and not physical consequences, emotional consequences. Everything has a price in that world. And oh my goodness, the world in itself, they expanded and oh my goodness, the world, just how they were able to expand the League of Legends world. I mean, when you look at the League of Legends, it doesn't look that exciting because, of course, of the nature of the game. But now they just expanded on it. They just created, they visualized the world so well, and it absolutely works when it comes to serving and reimagining the world of League of Legends. Arcane, again, what I did not like, it was that it was emotionally supercharged. I expected to just walk in and have fun. As I said, I was a latecomer. I didn't expect it to be so emotionally charged. I mean, from the word go to the last frame of the series, it was just emotions after emotions after emotions after emotions. Everything had such a heavy emotional toll that at the end of the film, I ended up having enjoyed it, but deep down, I just felt sad. I just felt heavy. I just felt kind of depressed, but not bad depressed, good depressed. So yeah, there we go. Last of Us was awesome, but yeah, there are other good properties out there. Age of Tomorrow, not based on a video game, but uses video game logic. I mean, there are weird things out there. The Last of Us is fantastic. It's actually good, but if you're looking for something that's closer to good video game adaptation, then you have those three. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.